Today we're going to look at the Metro 3, the newest version of Ergobaby's popular ultra compact. So let's get started then, going over the model's advantages and disadvantages in terms of child comfort, ease of use, performance and mechanics, before ending with the discussion of which uses and lifestyles it may suit. And beginning with some stats, the Metro 3 folds down to 44 by 23 by 56 centimeters, and Ergobaby claims it weighs 7.6 kilos, though it's actually more like 8 according to our new Mr. Lie Detector. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and 10 in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Metro 3 seat is adjustable between a newborn acceptable near-flat recline and an upright position that's decently vertical, though it does take some finger strength to pull the strap all the way up, especially with a kid on board. Size-wise, the Metro 3 seat has a width of 30 centimeters, a total length for the sitting surface, meaning the combined lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest of 94, and a total longer length of 122 when taking into account space under the canopy with the seat upright, and the length to the front frame mounted footrest. These are awesome dimensions for an ultra compact, and I'd further note that both the 51 centimeter backboard and 19 centimeter leg rest are longer than average, extending the age at which a younger toddler will have a comfortable lying position longer than with a lot of other models. As far as other aspects of the seat go, the Metro 3 has more premium feeling textiles than with past iterations of the model, and great padding due to the included seat liner. The harness is easy to use, with no rethread shoulder straps, and there are openable ventilation panels both in the canopy as well as the seat back when the seat is reclined. The canopy is extendable and provides good sun coverage, while for the newborn period, a newborn apron is zipped into the leg rest to make the flat recline a little more nest-like, which takes a little effort to set up, but can be folded with the model. In addition, car seat adapters are also available that are compatible with a variety of brands. Looking at parent comfort, the Metro 3's handle is adjustable between two positions, 103 and 109 centimeters, with the latter being a bit higher than average, which is a positive for taller parents. The shopping basket is large for an ultra compact and easy enough to access in my opinion, at least with the seat upright. When it comes to folding, the Metro 3 is much easier than past iterations of the model, involving only depressing a couple of buttons on the handle and flipping it into the auto fold, whereby the Metro 3 completes the fold itself, ending in a self-standing package with a carry handle sewn into the seat. Unfolding is simple as well, but definitely heavier, as well as a little noisy, with a loud cracking sound at the handle arm joints as it's pulled fully upright. The folded package is just within the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage, but does feel bulkier than with many competing models, and that weight of 8 kilos is closer to larger size models like the Triv or Dragonfly than to most other ultra compacts. As far as how the Metro 3 feels to use, the model has a solid, dependable feel with thick bars and strong connection points, though it's also very rigid, and while wheel size has increased versus past versions of the model, 5.5 inches in the front and 6.7 in the back, which makes it a bit better able to negotiate obstacles, whatever rear suspension Ergobaby claims to have added to the model is entirely unnoticeable, and the Metro 3 feels quite jittery over uneven terrain in my opinion. In addition, I'd also note that the somewhat narrow rear frame also makes it a little tippy sometimes with sharper turns. Alright, let's move on to the mechanics of the Metro 3 then, beginning with the handle, the folding system, and the general structure of the chassis, where the overall theme of the design, in my opinion, is sturdy but complex, with the chief weak points being firstly the use of hinged rather than telescopic adjustment mechanisms for the handle, a setup that has, in my experience, more potential for loosening or breaking over time as a result of the pressures of tipping and steering. And secondly, the fact that the folding system is highly complex, with wires that must first run through those hinged points before initiating a chain that involves two separate locking points, on the handle arms and at the central hubs, with the first likely being spring-loaded in some way due to how the handle pulls forwards when unlocked. This complicated system is protected to some extent by the fact that the chassis is solidly built, with thick bars, reinforced connection points, and good cross support, which will collectively keep the Metro 3 from loosening up much side to side and developing asymmetry issues. Though that being said, there is still the potential for smaller components to get hung up and break over time, and this is definitely a model where I would recommend lubrication a couple of times a year to keep the folding system working smoothly. Moving down to the rear frame of the model, the Metro 3 again has decent-sized wheels, but no noticeable suspension, while beyond this, the brake system is of a simple rotation-based setup, which is more durable and easier to maintain than wire-based systems in my experience. The rear wheels sit tightly within their housings, which is an improvement over the Metro Plus, and are decently durable, though the tires are relatively hard and unlikely to contribute any additional shock absorption, unfortunately. Looking lastly at the front frame, the suspension is more noticeable here, though still a bit stiff, and the boost in front wheel size is also a positive, making the model less likely to get hung up on stuff like uneven pavement. There are no swivel locks, which is arguably okay since the lack of rear suspension makes the Metro 3 unsuitable outside of smoother environments anyway, and the forks sit tightly in their housings horizontally, making them unlikely to develop wobbling problems down the road. Though that being said, they do sit a bit loose vertically, which makes them noisy when you hit bumps. So, would I recommend getting the Metro 3 then? Yes, provided it matches your needs in any case. Despite a few negatives, most notably the lack of suspension, the fact that 8 kilos is pretty heavy for an ultra compact, and a price hike to $350 that pulls the model up into tougher competition than what it's had with previous iterations, the Metro 3 still delivers a lot for the cost, with its premium feel, great seat characteristics, sturdy chassis design, and the little extras of an included rain cover and that newborn nest, all of which can make it a good choice for travel, to complement a car-based lifestyle, or even possibly for everyday use on foot, provided that you live in a smoother environment. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle-related information. You can find it by following the link in the description. Thank you.